Hello, everybody. My name is Jürgen Moors, and welcome to another episode of the Chain Gang. We entered a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of episodes ago, the topic of the blockchain. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about what types of blockchain are there, or which classes of blockchain. And depending on the criterion that you use, it can be a different set of blockchains that you have. Now, one way or one type of looking at what blockchains do you have is whether they are public blockchains or not. And with that, you already have the first category in this. You have public blockchains. And public blockchains mean everybody, most of the time permissionless, can access the blockchain, can enter data, can enter his own information, can read, write, but also can look up all the transactions that were done on this type of blockchain. For instance, the Bitcoin blockchain, the Ethereum blockchain, they are public blockchains. On the other hand side, you have a private blockchain. A private blockchain could typically be owned by a company, and this company then also controls who has access to the blockchain, who can add information to the blockchain, and also who can look at which transactions were done in the blockchain. To give you an example, where could this be done? A harbor authority to track all the containers, they could typically have a private blockchain to make sure that they can track all the containers that are moving in and moving out of their harbor. But then they also make sure that not everybody gets all the access to the blockchain. Now, another blockchain that you have is right in the middle. It's a hybrid blockchain, and a hybrid blockchain is typically a mix of a private blockchain and a public blockchain. So you have parts where you have access and parts where you have not, and which can be used for certain parts that are used just for a certain application or by a certain company, and others are not. And then there is a fourth type besides private, public, and hybrid blockchain, and there's a consortium blockchain. And a consortium blockchain is really close to a private blockchain, but instead of one company or one entity that controls the blockchain, you now have a consortium of partners or companies that are actually controlling the blockchain. And some even add a fifth type of this case, of this type of blockchains, and that is a federal blockchain, meaning here you typically have a blockchain that is managed by a country or by a region or by a city, and also they are then under control. It is not a completely decentralized blockchain, it is under central control. And then, of course, because it's federal, you can compare more to a private blockchain as well. Another way of looking at the blockchains is can you access them at any point, at any time? Can anybody access them? Means most of the time it's a permissionless blockchain. The other opposite is, of course, where you need permissioned or a permissioned blockchain. This is typically a blockchain where you have to ask permission, where you can only see certain aspects if you are granted a certain amount of access. But you can also compare this with the public blockchain and the private blockchain, like we discussed before. And the last type, how we can look at a blockchain, is what is the consensus mechanism to approve another block, to approve a certain transaction. This can be, of course, the proof of work, where you typically have a lot of miners who use a lot of computational power to solve a really complex encrypted mathematic riddle. And the one that does this first with this computational power is rewarded and also adds the block to the blockchain. Another part of that, or the other opposite there in this, or one of the others, because there are more than just two, but these ones are the biggest two. Like I said, the proof of work is one, the proof of stake is the other one. There, similar activity happens, but there it's not the person with the biggest computational power, but there is the people who own a stake, who have a stake. They have a certain amount of crypto, where they say, depending on the stake, I can give you the permission to solve this puzzle. And when you have done it that way, when you have solved the puzzle, then you can add the block and you are also rewarded. Two examples. One of the proof of work is the Bitcoin, or was the Bitcoin blockchain that was organized like that. And one other one for the proof of stake is typically the Ethereum blockchain. Originally, it was not like that. but in the meantime, it is changed to that, so that it is now a proof of stake blockchain. But I think also the Bitcoin has in the meantime become a proof of stake blockchain. Those are ways of how you can look at the different types of blockchains. There are many more ways of getting the different blockchains into different categories, but I think these are the major ones that you should know when you're looking at blockchains and how to differentiate between different types of blockchain. I hope you liked this episode, and I hope to see you soon in the next episode of The Chain Gang. Bye bye, everybody.